Hello and welcome back to The Digital Edge. I'm your host, Nancy, and today we are tackling a story that has absolutely exploded over the last 24 hours. If you use an Android phone for work, or if you've ever slapped a work profile on your personal device to check emails, you need to listen to this. On November 30th, 2025, just yesterday, news broke that Google has rolled out an update for its enterprise users that effectively tears down the wall between your personal texts and your employer's oversight. It's being called the glass wall. And to help us break down what this means for your privacy, I'm joined by information security and social media specialist, Khalil. Khalil, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Nancy. It's a busy morning in the InfoSec world, to say the least.
I can imagine. So let's cut right to the chase. The headlines are screaming that Google is sharing all your text messages with your employer. Is that headline hysteria, or is that actually happening?
It's a bit of both, but the reality is actually quite stark. It's not that Google is suddenly broadcasting everyone's texts to the world. What's happened is a fundamental change in the Android enterprise architecture. Previously, we had this concept of a sandbox. You had your personal apps on one side and your work apps on the other. The two didn't talk. What this update does, specifically for managed devices, is allow corporate administrators to archive, audit, and search SMS and RCS messages, even those that might feel personal if they pass through specific carrier configurations or Google Voice integrations managed by the company.
Okay, wait. So if I have my personal phone, but I use it to check work email, am I affected?
That's the million-dollar question, Nancy. It depends on the level of management you've agreed to. In the past, the bring your own device or BYOD model was popular because it was convenient. You carry one phone. But this update changes the contract. If your device is enrolled in a specific tier of Google Workspace management, yes, the glass wall becomes transparent. Your employer can now apply the same retention policies to your text messages that they've applied to your emails for years.
That feels incredibly invasive. Why now? Why did Google decide to do this in late 2025?
It's not just Google being nosy, it's actually a reaction to Wall Street and the SEC. Over the last 2 years, we've seen billions, literally billions of dollars in fines levied against major financial institutions because their employees were using off-channel communications. People were closing deals on WhatsApp or via standard texts, and there was no record of it.
So the companies are terrified of liability.
Exactly. Compliance is driving the technology. Google is positioning Android as a compliance-first ecosystem to win over the Fortune 500. They want to tell big banks, hey, use Android, and you won't get fined by the SEC because we capture everything.
But Khalil, what about the human element? I mean, I read in one of the articles, I think it was WebPro News, that this is erasing the line between personal texts and corporate oversight. If I'm texting my husband about picking up dinner and I'm on a managed device, can my boss see that?
Technically, if the configuration is set to archive all to ensure no data leaks, yes, it is possible. And that creates a massive legal and ethical quagmire. In the U.S., the laws generally favor the employer regarding data on managed networks. But imagine a multinational company. If they apply that same policy to a developer in Berlin, they are likely violating the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. You can't just scrape personal data in Europe the way you can in the U.S.
That sounds like a nightmare for HR and legal departments.
It's a total mess, and it's going to kill the BYOD model. I'm telling people now, if you value true privacy, the era of the two-phone dynamic is back. You need a work phone that you turn off at 5 p.m. and a personal phone that your company never touches.
That's such a regression, though. We spent a decade trying to get rid of carrying 2 bricks in our pockets.
We did, but the price of that convenience was a trust-based system that regulators no longer accept. The technology has caught up to the regulation. And honestly, Nancy, it's not just Google. This is a bellwether. Expect pressure on Apple to open up iMessage to similar enterprise auditing soon. If you want to play in the corporate sandbox, you have to accept the surveillance that comes with it.
That is chilling. So, for our listeners driving to work right now, glancing nervously at their phones, what should they do? How do they know if they are being watched?
Great question. First, go into your settings, look for device management or profiles. If you see a message that says, "This device is managed by your organization," do not assume your texts are private. Assume they are readable.
Assume they are readable.
Yes, if you are discussing sensitive personal matters, health issues, legal issues, private family drama, do not do it on a device that has a corporate profile installed. Use a separate device or use an encrypted app that is not managed by your company, provided your company policy allows it. 2, though that's getting rarer too.
That's incredibly insightful. Khalil, before we let you go, do you think this will spark a worker revolt? I mean, Gen Z is hyper-aware of privacy.
Oh, absolutely. We're already seeing it. Younger workers are rejecting offers that mandate invasive MDM profiles. It's becoming a hiring issue. Trust is a currency, and when you surveil your employees like this, you devalue that trust. You might get compliance, but you lose culture.
You might get compliance, but you lose culture. That is a powerful place to end it. Khalil, thank you so much for breaking this down for us on such short notice.
Anytime, Nancy. Stay secure.
And thank you for listening. That was Khalil, Information Security and Social Media Specialist, breaking down the new Google Enterprise protocols. If you're unsure about your phone, check those settings today. We'll be back tomorrow with more on the tech that shapes our lives. I'm Nancy, and this is The Digital Edge.